Okay, in this tutorial, I will demonstrate how to generate a quick sketch type rendering such as this one you are seeing here. The first thing to do is create a horizon line, okay? And on the horizon line are vanishing points. Put vanishing point arbitrarily here and there. And then the first thing that I do, I create a vertical line which represents a corner of the room, okay? The room is perhaps 9 feet tall, so the horizon line is at about 4'6", 5 feet, which is just a little bit below the average eye level. Okay, so from there, let's call this a vanishing point 1 and this a vanishing point 2. Vanishing points are the points on the horizon that all the lines from corresponding planes, which is the opposite plane from the vanishing point, they basically converge into. Okay, so in this particular case, we will draw a line from that vanishing point to there, and one over here, and the same thing from that one over there into here. Okay, so once we have done that, we have generated basically a corner of the room, all right? And so you want to maybe thicken these lines here, which represent our walls, okay? And now we start to think in terms of what the space is doing. What are the architectural or elements or furnishings in the room? A room will usually have a window, so let's put a window on this wall here. And let's say the window is maybe about 3'6" of the finished floor, like that. And again, the lines go into that vanishing point. Every time you're sketching, doing freehand sketch like that, you're always referring back to the vanishing point of the corresponding plane. Okay, so that is our window. We'll give it a little bit of a depth, like this. And again, always doing that, and then we'll start maybe generating some sort of a shadows already. And maybe there are a couple of mullions in the windows like that. All right, so let's say we have a room in a floor plan set up that looks something like this. This is our window. We generally work from a floor plan. So this is this particular window here, like that. And so let's just give this room some sort of a design. Of course, this is not very realistic. It's for demonstration purposes only. So we'll put a sofa in this space. Sofa is usually 6 feet or so wide and maybe 36 inches deep. And then we can put side tables on either side. Maybe there is a lamp here and there's a sort of an artifact over there, and maybe there are some window treatments there, like so. And maybe let's say there is a painting over here and some sort of a rug in front of this sofa, and let's say the floor is a wood floor with white planks like that. Okay, so this is our floor plan, and essentially our camera is positioned somewhere here. So we're looking at a space approximately like so. All right, this is what we're capturing with our camera, because really a rendering is a replication of what camera would do if it were taking a shot of the particular space when it's completed. Okay, so here's our window. And now we're going to position the sofa in space, and you do it on the floor. Okay, so let's say the floor sofa is about, say, 2 feet away from that wall. You know, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe like that. Just a rough reference is what I use to do that. And so the sofa is generally 3 feet high at the back, and then it's 2 feet away from the wall, 3 feet deep. Okay, so you kind of generate a silhouette of that, of the side of that sofa on that wall, and then you project the lines, the critical points in the object to that vanishing point, like so. And then you create it in space like that. We're generating all of that on the floor. Okay, so this is a footprint. This is the footprint of our sofa, and then we bring it up like that. This is at 3 feet in the corresponding line on that wall. You project it out. Here is the back of it. And we can by eye establish approximately seat on the sofa is usually 20 inches or thereabouts. So it's maybe half of the sofa, a little bit less. And then we're going to create the seat of the sofa like so. And then we give it maybe some depth. There's some cushions in the back there. Like that. And then maybe there's an armrest like so, and then on the other side as well. And then these seat cushions correspond to the back cushions. You can see now as you generate these lines, they can get confusing. And so what I do, I just define them with shadows. Okay, that gives you the sense of the rough outline of the object you are creating in space. This is a rough sketch, so you don't have to worry about things being exactly what they are. Okay, and this is our cushions. You can see how they kind of come alive when you do that. And if the sofa has maybe a frame and it's sitting on some sort of legs like that, you have a sense of the object in space. Okay, and then we look at the floor plan and see these are our side tables, and again we generate them on the floor the same way as we did the sofa, always bringing our lines to the corresponding vanishing point. And we bring up the side table up. It's going to be again at approximately 20-24 inches of the floor. It is not that critical to be precise. We're just doing a very simple rough sketch. Same thing on the other side. Always referring back to the vanishing points. And they're just simple cubes again. To define them, we will put shadows there. They may have some design, but we're not concerned about it at this point. And there's some sort of a lamp over there, so we can put some sort of a lamp there, maybe with some sort of a rectangular shade. There's a lamp there, maybe here there's some sort of an artifact on that table. And then on the floor we have this rug of some sort, like this. It's a little bit smaller than the sofa, so on the floor again we measure maybe 10 inches in or so. We put the rug like so. Again, referring back to our vanishing points, and this is our rug. Maybe the rug has a little bit of design in it. So just feel free to put some indication of that. Everything that you put down in renderings is supposed to mean something. Maybe there's a base to this wall. Maybe there's a crown in the corner of the wall and the ceiling like that. Some simple crown like so, and then we have our window treatments here. So maybe there's a rod above there like so, and then just put some sort of simple drapes going down. Maybe they're on the rings, so that indicates like this. If you're a designer, you are thinking through as you are generating the rendering. As a designer, this is basically how I became an illustrator, is by thinking through and using the drawing to illuminate the type of design that I was coming up with. That's really how my technique evolved, okay? And as you move forward, you can just adjust maybe the verticality of your lines and things like that, and just let your hand freely move through the drawing. And again, now we see that the shadows that I established on the sofa correspond to perhaps light coming from this window. And in that case, this whole wall would be in the shadow, like so. And you can just put the shadow there, and then maybe thicken up the lines of the folds of the drapery, like that. You're just training your brain to think through the drawing as you move through it. Okay, and then to give it clarity, you add some more shading to everything. Maybe there's some sort of side going on there. And then you can say, well, that maybe this is a wood table, like that, and it has legs, like so. Okay, and then there's some sort of a picture on the wall here. Establish vertical line. All these lines from that wall go into that vanishing point. Again, you're constantly referring to that. Here's our painting. And if this is some sort of a simple space, we can make it just a self-etched canvas piece and then put some abstract image on it. So you're indicating to the viewer what your design intent is. You can even at this point say, well, maybe there's a frame, like a more transitional type design, as it's called in the design world. So the minute you do that, you're indicating the character of the design. That's a little bit different, since there's a crown, there's a base, or maybe it's a little bit more traditional space. The sofa can stay neutral, the carpet can be whatever, it can be simple, it can be an oriental rug. If you put this kind of indication, it means that there's some sort of a pattern on it, and it's not a simple geometric modern rug. And then we have the floorboards that we can indicate very quickly, again referring back to our vanishing point, like so. And then maybe on the outside there's some sort of a landscape that's seen through the window. There's a distant hill maybe over the horizon there. You can see by doing that, you just give it a little bit of depth, to the illustration. And all the simple, it begins to tell the story of the space, and then you can maybe even give it definition like that, and there you have it, a very simple interior sketch. If you like what you've seen, please press the subscribe button on the bottom, and I will see you at the next tutorial.